Hi, what are you making?
Why?
Why? Nothing. I'm curious, that's all.
Why, this is my secret mix of herbs and spices.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I thought you were Steve Watson.
But I am Steve Watson.
No, you're not. You're Colonel Sanders.
Yum, 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 yum.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of One Chef One Critic. I'm Karl Wells, food critic for The Telegram.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
And Steve, all jokes aside, I know you're not Colonel Sanders. He looks much younger than you.
Indeed, I'm not.
Classic spice mixtures, you know, that's something that we can do at home very easily and have fun with. We can kind of put our own twist on Cajun spice or something like that. Right?
Absolutely, Carl. I mean, I like making a nice Italian spice for my rubs on my chickens and things like that. You know, I put my oregano in there, my thyme, my marjoram and everything else. But I also like putting a little bit of sage in there to really bring those aromatic flavors through. I also know that you like cinnamon toast. So on top of the cinnamon, the sugar, I put a little bit of nutmeg as well.
I've never done that, but I will try that. That's a good idea.
Perfect.
Yeah, all great tips, and the point here is that we've all got all those bottles of herbs and spices at home in our kitchen cupboard, and lots of times we might use them for one recipe and then we don't think about using them again.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea to kind of mix them up, have fun with them, and that way you use them up and they don't go kind of woofy. Anyway, coming up in the program today, our special guest is Justin Nurse. Justin is a musician, singer, actor, director. He's performed here and on the mainland, and he has worked on cruise ships as well. What are we going to cook for him?
Actually, we're going to be making a Greek-style shrimp topped with some feta cheese.
He may have been to Greece, we'll have to ask. And Bernie Ann Ezekiel of Academy Canada will be cooking maple rum scallops, so stick around. For a complete listing of One Chef One Critic recipes, wine lists, and more, check out our website. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600. Hey, it is Justin Nurse. It's great to have you on the show, sir.
It's great to be here.
Well, tell me, are you a fussy eater or are you one of those people who'll pretty much eat anything?
Honestly, if you lay it in front of me, it's probably not safe.
Okay, you sound just like me.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're in luck today because we've got something really good looking over there, right, Steve?
Absolutely, Justin. What we're going to be making is a Greek-style shrimp with some feta cheese. We've got some beautiful shrimp here. These are what are called a 2 to 3 count, so 2 to 3 per pound.
Okay, so these guys are saying, yeah, shrimp.
Absolutely.
They're huge.
These are like Arnold Schwarzenegger shrimp.
So what I'm going to do, Carl, I'd like you to peel them
Yes.
and to also turn some rice on as well because we're going to be making some basmati rice. So.
Okay, I think I can handle that.
And for you, Justin, I've just reheated some oil here, some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put some onions in there. We'll start to sweat that
Sure.
off. Okay?
Listen to that.
Yeah, put it all in there. That's good.
I hope that is Greek olive oil, Steve,
Absolutely.
because, you know, with the way their economy is going, they need all the help they can get.
They certainly do.
Nice.
And what we're going to do there as well, we're going to put some garlic into it as well.
yes.
Nicely chopped garlic. So
All right,
there we
can't
go.
hurt.
Really get them flavour buds going through.
Okay.
Now, you worked on a cruise ship, I heard.
I
Several
did.
cruise ships.
Many cruise ships. 4 years almost, with a few breaks in there.
Yeah.
Aboard ships, traveling the world. Been to Greece, Mykonos, Santorini, Athens.
Oh, so you're pretty well aware of this particular dish. then.
I'm familiar with Greek food. I tried to memorize it
Oh, is that
while
right?
I was there. I sort of like looked at it, I'd take pictures of it going, I have to try to recreate this.
Excellent.
I haven't quite nailed it yet. But
Now, cruise ships are known for their food. Now, did you eat in the dining room and we're working on there, or did you eat down below with the rest of the
as entertainment, I was allowed to eat up with the guests, and I
Perfect.
did as often as I could. Actually, it's such a rich menu that they have that I fell in love with all the different ways they do lobster.
Oh, is that
And
right?
it got to the
Yeah.
point after 4 years, it's like, lobster again.
So what was the most interesting way they did lobster?
The Thermidor was my favorite. There was, it was a really
Nice, rich, creamy sauce.
Yeah,
That's
delicious.
probably a bit of
Isn't it?
cognac
Yeah.
in there and things like that.
Yeah.
And the desserts, my God. Trying to avoid them was my life's work.
So when were you bitten by the performing bug?
Oh my God, I was about 19, I guess. I was a bit of a late bloomer. I did stuff in high school, but never really a significant role. I did choir in high school at Holy Heart with Susan Quinn, which is awesome. But it wasn't until I was about 19. Alan Hocko, actually, of Republic of Doyle fame, got me my very first paying gig with Shakespeare by the Sea.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that was the beginning of it. And
Yeah.
as soon as I sort of stood in front of the audience and got to feel the applause and the energy that
Yeah.
you get with that. I was hooked. And getting paid for what you love.
Shakespeare by the Sea, I think that was Mike Wade who started that up.
Mike Wade, I believe, was involved. Jennifer Dion, I remember very well. She was my director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we've got the onions, we've got the garlic. They're nice and translucent now.
Okay.
I'll just turn it up a touch more.
That's what we look for.
And I've just got some. Yes, that's just cleared through. Okay. And then we're just going to add the tomatoes in there. Some nice plum tomatoes, and you can break them up just a little bit if you wish.
Break them up. Okay. With this thing?
With the spatula, correct.
Okay. They're certain mushy.
Mushy. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of white wine into there as well.
I like to cook with wine. Mostly I drink it.
And what I did now, Justin, as well, I've just started to cut up some feta cheese, some locally made feta. It's nice and salty, so you'll find that I'm not going to put any salt into there at all.
Okay.
We're going to be putting a little bit of pepper, which we can put in now. Excellent. And we'll also put some chili peppers in there as well, just to spice it up just a touch.
Beautiful.
And is that up there? That's up high now.
Yep.
So I've cut this on the bias. Now I'm just going to dice it up a little bit more. This is going to go on top of the shrimp once Karl has got it peeled. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, I fell in love with feta when I was in Greece, for sure.
So how many different countries did you get to visit when you were on the cruise ships?
58.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, and multiple
58.
times. Multiple times at all these places. So I'd be there for a day, and then I'd leave, and then I'd come back. And yeah, 58. I actually went to Santorini in Greece so many times. Have you been? Either of you been?
No.
Santorini is probably the most beautiful place in the world. Look it up. It's these sprawling walls with the white buildings on the top.
Yeah.
But you have to either get on a gondola, which always has a lineup, or ride a donkey to the top. Which, donkeys don't smell as good as garlic or something yummy.
Yeah.
So you ride this donkey up to the top. It actually got to the point we were there so many times in the run of 6 months that me and my friends were like, oh, we got to go up that hill. Again, it's the most beautiful place in the world, and we got tired of it.
Yeah.
But I would suggest it to anybody. It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime destination.
Yeah. When I think of gondolas, I always think of Venice. I don't think of Greece so much.
Gondola? The thing that goes up.
Oh, okay.
Is it like
It is a gondola, but it's on like a cable car.
Cable car.
Okay,
That gondola.
Yeah.
Pass me the shrimp there, Karl, please.
I've been to Venice too, though. I did the gondolas in Venice too, the boats.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to do now is just lay our shrimp in there.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Nicely around. Because we're going to be popping this into the oven now for about 15 minutes, you see.
So don't stir this anymore.
No, that's good. Do a nice presentation in there.
Beautiful.
All the way around. Did you go to the Eastern Bloc at all? Did you go to Russia? Or?
Yeah, did Russia. We did the Ukraine. It was beautiful. The Baltic in general. Is just
Very
amazing.
colourful.
Colorful, active ocean wildlife. It was just beautiful, and of course, St. Petersburg was probably the most amazing historic site I've ever seen.
Yeah. Beautiful buildings that were actually rebuilt after the Second World War, because a lot of St. Petersburg was completely destroyed.
Hermitage Museum was fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely a place you want to see. Expensive. Oh my God. I went to buy this shirt I saw in a store, and I thought, that's my shirt.
Wow.
And it was like 80,000 rubles or something, which turned out to be like $350 for a nice
my goodness.
shirt, which is outside the privy of a artist.
Yes, of course. And speaking of being an artiste, what are some of the favorite musicals you've been in?
Oh my God, Mamma Mia in Toronto, obviously. I never got bored. I did that for 2 full years.
Wow.
Grease. I love Grease in Theatre St. John's. It's got an upcoming production of that. There are, oh my God, I don't think I have a favorite. I just love them all.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm a theater nerd of the first order.
So you've also done some directing, or will be doing some directing? Or?
Yeah, no, this past summer, got to direct the musical for Donna Butt at Trinity Theatre Festival.
Oh, okay.
Also a place that I believe people should go. Probably, of all the traveling I've done, probably the most beautiful place. The hiking and the fishing and everything. It's just fantastic. So I got to direct the musical for them this year, which was, I was directing myself.
That must have been exciting.
It was different. It was like, Justin, go over here. Yeah, I'd be happy to go.
That's perfect. As you can see now, we've got our olives on there, we've got our feta cheese on there. The tomatoes are just coming to the boil there with all our onions and our garlic. This is going to go into the oven for about 10-15 minutes maximum.
Excellent.
All I want to do is just to bring those shrimp to a nice tenderness there. So
Beautiful.
That's it.
Looks good. That was quick.
It is, absolutely.
So when you were on the cruise ships, you must have at some point gotten to eat in restaurants and so on in all of these different countries.
Absolutely.
Was there any particular dish or type of cuisine that really, really impressed you?
Honestly, the thing that stuck with me most was the Greek cuisine, the Greek food in general, but the
Is it the
Greeks,
freshness of it all?
that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I can't seem to recreate. There's something about their feta. Yours looks great. I can't wait to try it. But there's something about the way the vegetables are presented, and I would take pictures and try to memorize their Greek salad. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but I have not yet
Simplicity.
been able to recreate it. I don't know if it's the olives or the feta or the freshness of the vegetables, but and Italian food as well.
Yeah.
One of the things I took away from Italy, of course, is the limoncello.
Oh, the limoncello.
Oh my God.
Like you would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great
What
drink.
I find so interesting? It's the fact that Justin had no part in choosing this recipe at all.
No.
We chose this recipe and we just happened to pick a type of food that you really, really
Absolutely.
like.
I got the phone call and said, this is what we're cooking, and it's like, fantastic. Anything with feta on it, honestly, is not going to be
that's
safe.
great. Yeah.
If you guys don't enjoy it, I'll eat yours.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely think that's going to be great. I love shrimp.
Yeah.
And our rice
Rice is
is
just
doing
about done.
nicely. I think I'm going to turn that
Perfect.
back a bit.
Yeah.
Now, what did you call that?
It's a basmati rice.
Okay.
I'll have to just boil it to 2 parts of water to 1 part rice.
All right, so that's
I'm going to just pop down to the wine cellar and get a wine to go with that. Okay.
Perfect.
Right.
So Justin, did you ever get a chance to go into the kitchens there on the cruise ships?
I did.
Yeah.
My favorite time to go, though, was around 2 o'clock in the morning when they were preparing the pastries for the next morning.
Oh, I can imagine.
And as a crew member, I'd sort of stand back and be like,
Don't forget me.
and they'd sort of slip me a few pastries.
Howdy, Andrea.
Hi.
Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Well, we've got such a beautiful looking dish today. It looks like it came off the cover of a magazine. It's Greek shrimp. So we've got those big jumbo shrimp, tomatoes, black olives, some feta cheese.
Oh, delicious.
Looks gorgeous. So what kind of wine would you suggest to go with that dish? Because there's a little bit of a challenge in that it's got the feta cheese in there too and the tomato.
Yep, so because you sort of big, briny, bright,
Yes.
acid kind of flavors, we're going to echo those flavors in the wine as well. You wouldn't want anything too high in alcohol because it's going to sort of pick that up a little bit too much. And all these are going to fit the bill really nicely. This one is the Firesteed Riesling from Oregon. It's from the Willamette Valley. These folks do a beautiful job. They're emulating the Rieslings of the Alsace, which are crisp and fruit forward, very lime, white flowers, all those kinds of aromas and flavors. So this is beautiful.
That's sort of the classic bottle for
It is.
Alsatian
Yeah.
Riesling or any Riesling.
So nice that they're
probably.
doing that in the U.S.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
right? And then we have Mission Hill. This is 5 Vineyards Sauvignon Blanc. And they talk about the 5 vineyards. What they're doing is between Oliver and Osuyus, they're picking the grapes over 5 vineyards, and what they're doing is blending for consistency year over year. So you're going to find the same bright citrus, lovely, fresh, herbaceous quality in their Sauvignon Blanc year after year.
Yeah, just beautiful wine. Beautiful wine, yeah.
And then we have some from South Africa. We have a Chenin Blanc. And there has not been a lot from South Africa here in Newfoundland. We're starting to get a little bit more.
No.
And we're starting to see a little bit more of the higher end stuff, which is nice. This bottle is $20. The trick with Chenin Blanc is it's a very vigorous vine. It's like mint. It can kind of, go a little wild. And through careful vineyard management and the areas they've chosen are a little less fertile, so the grapes have to struggle, which produces beautiful elegance and finesse in the bottle. So again, that bright, crisp, lovely quality.
So is it safe to say that South Africa is known more for red wine than white, or the
Well,
other
we
way
always
around?
think of Pinotage when we think
Right,
of South
that's
Africa.
what I was gonna say,
That's
yeah,
what,
yeah.
but they're doing a beautiful job with whites as well. So it's just we don't tend to see them too much in our neck of the woods.
And so these are all reasonably priced.
They're all under $20.
And so I'm going to go with the Riesling because it's one of those wines that pretty much everybody likes.
They do.
And I think it's going to go really well with the shrimp. Thanks, Andrea.
My pleasure.
Okay.
See ya.
Now, I hope we can meet Justin's expectations with this beautiful Greek shrimp with feta cheese. And I see they're already sitting in the dining room now, and I'd like to join them.
We have an Oregonian Riesling to go with the Greek shrimp.
We did
not a
it again. It's my favorite one.
Oh!
Rieslings are always my favorite wine. I don't.
You scared me. I thought I'd made some big mistake. Let's have a try and
Absolutely.
pass
Looks
judgment.
delicious.
Pass judgment on what we've created. I did a great job peeling these
I
things.
think you did,
didn't I?
Karl.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Look at those mashed
Yes.
tomatoes.
Oh,
That's where the real skill came in.
hopefully it's good as what you had in Greece.
It's better. Oh my.
Perfect. That feta cheese on it?
And that feta is delicious.
Divine. Yeah.
Really,
Perfect.
really, really nice. The shrimp are very, very tender and succulent. Beautiful. I love it.
Yep.
So, tell me about what's coming up in the future for you. You're settled here in St. John's now,
I am
Justin.
settled here in St.
And,
John's.
after your this wanderlust period, you're here. What is your future plan?
I'm back at school, so I'm student full-time, as well as going to continue to do theater and local television, radio, whatever I can get. And just aim for the future. And I have this theory that the universe provides as long as you're moving forward. And so although my 10-year plan is not perfectly clear, I figure if I'm always doing something, life will turn out the way it's meant to.
Well, having a plan is important, I find. Yeah. Now, just getting back to the cruise ships before we go, in all those years, there had to be something really funny or bizarre that happened.
Oh my God! There was, especially in the theater.
Can you tell us a story about one of them?
Oh yes, yeah. We were on the moving ship, doing all sorts of acrobatic stuff as well as dancing, and so the girls are always like, "Should we wear heels? Shouldn't we wear heels?" And one of our male dancers was heading up the stairs out to the back of the theater. Now there's about a gap like this big. He goes off the back, falls about 3 feet out of sight. So he's okay, but his hat literally spun in the air like a cartoon and then fell. And we've got the whole thing on video. He honestly went off, the hat came up, and he was gone. And then he crawled off the stage. I don't think I've ever seen a group of people laugh harder. Yeah, and it was all mic'd, and everybody in the audience could hear it. And one of the guys in the cast goes, "Awkward," out over the whole house. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
What about the people who would take these cruises? Because I bet you get some real characters on these vessels sometimes.
I've met Judith Chalmers. Do you know Judith Chalmers?
Name sounds familiar.
She's a British millionairess and a very sort of public figure there in Britain, and she was a fantastic individual. Chris Rich, who plays the husband of Reba McEntire on The Reba Show.
Oh, okay.
He and I were like peas and carrots. We hit it off like crazy, and I just had a great time with him. And people from all over the world, from the Philippines especially, very popular. The Greek officers pretty much ran the ship, and those guys were serious business. Serious business all the time, and very effective. And just met thousands, literally thousands, who I'm still friends with.
So do you think you'd ever like to go back to the cruise ships at any point, or were you, been there, done that?
Oh, I would. I would.
You would go back?
Yeah. I'd like to. I probably wouldn't do 4 years. My last contract was 11 months straight. So I probably wouldn't do that again, but definitely one more contract, see Antarctica. Haven't seen that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Very nice.
I didn't know they did cruises to Antarctica.
They do.
You mean the big ships, like
big
Crystal
ships,
Cruise Lines and all these ones?
They'll get you right down next to the next to the
That
water.
would be an adventure.
It would be an adventure. Yeah.
Anyway, listen, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you very much for being
It
on
has
One Chef
been
One Critic.
great to be here.
Cheers.
Great to have you with us, Justin.
Cheers.
And coming up next on the program, we have Chef Bernie Ann Ezekiel of Academy Canada, and she's going to be doing a great scallop dish for us, and it's got rum in it. So stay tuned.
I like it.
Our guest chef today is the culinary instructor with Academy Canada here in St. John's, and a very good culinary program it is too. We've had their students on this program several years ago, and their food was actually beyond delicious. It was delicious. It was incredible. And now we have the instructor of those students with us. Her name is Bernie Ann Ezekiel, and we're absolutely delighted to have you here, Bernie Ann.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Bernie, it's great to see you again. So, what are we actually going to be preparing today?
Today we're going to be doing maple and rum scallops.
Oh, perfect.
Rum.
Notice I didn't mention anything about the alcohol, Karl.
That's one. Rummy scallops, just what I've always wanted.
So let's get started then. How do we
Sure.
start? Yep.
Okay, we're going to render a little bit of fat out of our homemade bacon. We actually make this in-house at the college.
That's a
Perfect.
great thing to do,
It
isn't it?
is, yeah. I can
Yeah.
really smell the smokiness coming through it as well.
We've got a hickory and a birch blend. We smoke it for about 4 or 5 hours,
Do
actually.
you have a smoker, or do you put it in the oven, or how
We
do you...
have a smoker.
Oh, you have a
Yeah,
smoker.
we have a
Okay,
smoker.
Very nice.
And we cure it in a mixture of kosher salt and Demerara sugar
Excellent.
for 5 to
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah.
So we get some butter in here as well.
Okay. No shortage of fat in this one.
No, this is the diet version.
Perfect.
So we'll get our butter melting.
Yeah.
Fat on fat.
Fat on fat.
And we've got a nice brunoise of onions there, nicely finely chopped.
Spanish onion.
Yeah.
And we've got some minced garlic
Garlic.
as well. And we're just going to cook this a little bit until the onion becomes somewhat translucent. And while this is cooking, we can just go ahead and get our scallops in there. We just want to cook them a little bit, and then we'll take them out so they don't overcook, so they don't get rubbery.
So do you teach any other sort of crafty cooking skills out of the college, or artisanal things like the smoking of the bacon? Do you smoke fish or do anything like that?
Yes, we've smoked fish. We've also smoked turkey legs, and kind of a little medieval twist on things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Smoked
They're quite
turkey
nice,
legs.
actually.
Yeah.
And do you have many females in the course now? Or?
We have about 70%.
70%
actually.
really? Okay.
Yeah, it used to be a male-dominated field, but it seems like the females are getting more involved.
Into the career. Excellent.
It's funny how that works out, because I mean, when you're growing up, it's always your mother who does the cooking.
Yes.
And my mom was an excellent cook. My dad was a cook too, by the way. But you know, most moms are very good cooks, and yet in the trade, it's always men.
Men.
Traditionally, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So we're just going to sear the scallops off.
Yeah, not even so much sear them. We're just going to cook them a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't want them to become rubbery.
No, none whatsoever. Keep them.
And these are nice big scallops too. Okay.
What was this, Bernie?
That's maple syrup.
Oh,
It is, yeah.
It's
And
dark, isn't it?
It is. It's quite dark. And this is dark rum.
Okay.
yeah. Now, with the rum, would you flame that, or could you flame it? I guess
You could. I actually flamed it earlier.
Oh,
When I
okay.
actually made some of this for my family for lunch.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Little test case there.
Yep.
Got to do that.
it was.
Yeah.
So we'll take these scallops out, and I'll just poke them aside and get our rum and maple syrup in there. We want the pan good and hot because
Okay, so you do that separate.
you take them out just so they don't overcook. That's all.
Yeah.
No, you don't, and they're going to continue cooking anyway.
They will.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because there's enough heat there for it to continue cooking.
So we'll get our rum in there.
Okay. Yeah. You can smell it, can't you? Be careful it doesn't flame.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
maple syrup, and we'll just get this boiling until it looks kind of lava-like, very bubbly,
Yeah,
very
sure.
syrupy. And then we'll add our
Caramelization coming
cream.
through all of our.
Jamaican rum and Canadian maple syrup.
That's
Lovely
right.
combination.
International dish.
There you go.
Yeah. So the last ingredient would be the cream.
The cream, and we're going to use about half a cup. So that's half of this little carton.
Yep.
So a lot of people always worry about cream curdling when you put it into a hot pan like that.
Right.
Does that in fact happen, or is it?
It's more so in soups, like more liquidy things. Like this already has a nice base of sugar and
Right.
fat in
It'll
there.
absorb it, yeah.
Yeah, it will. It helps bind it much easier. So all we do now is just let this boil and reduce a
So
little
you're
bit.
going to pour that over this, or put that on the plate? And then
I'm
put-
going to toss those back in there once it starts to boil a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah,
And
well-
then just put them on a plate.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to continue on doing this, but in the meantime, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you very much, Bernie Ann.
You're quite welcome.
And thank you all for watching this edition of
One chef.
One Critic.
So I just added the salt and pepper and go ahead and plate these up.
Look very nice. They've really kept their shape as well, those scallops.
These are quite nice scallops.
Yeah.
They look really, really juicy. That's the only word to describe those scallops.
Yeah.
They look extremely juicy.
Okay, so we'll just put a little bit of sauce on there.
Oh.
Smoky flavor goes quite nice with
It
the rum
does,
and the
doesn't it?
maple.
You can smell the maple and
There you go.
And the rum coming through.
Right.
Would you like to try one, Karl, maybe?
I would love to try one, yeah. I almost hate to disturb that nice little pyramid you've created.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some from the back here.
Yeah, there you go. Good?
It really is excellent.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Karl Wells. Sorry. Who am I? I'm Karl Wells, but what am I do? What is this?
What do I do?
And we can even put our own twist on it, correct?
Absolutely, Karl. One of the classical ones is an Italian herbs and spices and mixes.
I'm so sorry. I've had a piece of pepper stuck in my throat for the last 3 minutes.
Well, so you managed to contain that well.
Oh my God, you were looking me in the eyes there at the last second. I was starting to cry.